Alrighty. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. How the heck is everyone doing? Morning, Garrett. Good morning. Good morning. Lee, Franco, Haytham. Hey them, Haytham, whatever. It's Ramadan, baby. Fasting. Well, Ramadan Kareem, my friend. Hello, Vlad. Hello, BC. We've got some things going on early here. Hear me very mildly. You should hear me rather clearly because my mic audio is turned all the way up. So let me try something. Maybe this would be better. Turn up the gain a tiny bit. It really shouldn't be that. No, it shouldn't even be the gain. Maybe the volume. Yeah, I don't know. It's not me. It's definitely not me. I got my stuff locked down. It's clear but very low volume. Well, there's nothing I could do. Like everything is everything is properly set on my mic, and if it's clear for everyone else, then I'm sure it's an issue on your end. I feel like your mic is low often. All my recordings that I listen to are fine. Okay. I'll turn it up a little bit for those that can't hear me. But yeah, I'm getting like yellow markers on my mic audio when I'm talking, so bro, remember I said it can drop to 16.6K? It's on its way. Yeah, it's got 4,000 points to go yet. 17.9. You can see if you utilize like the monthly premium and discount in and around here. I don't know where you're getting 16.6 from. 17K, this little bissy here. We'll see. I don't like to get too ahead of myself. I just trade like when it's like this, when it's bearish like this, I just trade on a day by day basis because I've been caught with my pants down so many times trying to short to zero and it just doesn't go well. It ends in me fighting the tape when it starts to turn around. So we're just going to go on a day by day basis. Day by day basis and go from there. I use OBS to record. Still waiting for the back test video. Yeah. I will get to it. I'm a busy man, so I've got to allocate my time accordingly, but I have not forgotten about it, don't worry. I just got off night shift here, so I'm trying to get myself kind of acclimated with the charts here before I get into anything, before I get involved with anything. So what do we got so far? We've got SMT with YM at this previous daily low here from yesterday. We saw an 8 a.m. candle kind of take out that previous hourly low, take out the previous daily low a little more, tag into those November lows and flip. 9 a.m. has kind of been working its way higher. We did get a nice setup off of that reversal there. Down in here, there's this series of breakers. Tagged into that 9 a.m. open has opened straight up, which is kind of concerning for buys, considering that this has just opened up. We haven't really printed much of a wick. Not to say that it needs to, because 8 a.m. kind of served as the bigger wick. Now, what do we see right now? We've all engaged. Every asset has engaged with its hourly SIBI above 8 a.m.'s high. There's no SMT to give us any sort of reason to want to look for lower prices. If we saw some SMT up in here, potentially, but I don't see anything worth looking at. We are now just tagging back into this series of down close candles. This is a breaker on the 15-minute. It's also a breaker on the 5-minute. We have kind of a premium and discount range. We may want to sweep, come down into it. If we could form some more SMT, that would be swell. And then maybe target up here. These are all pretty clean highs, right? These are Asia highs, London highs. It all looks like a consolidation to me. And if you utilize just yesterday's range as your premium and discount, just go here. You can see premiums all the way up here. And we have this big inefficiency here that we failed to tag into. So just providing some narrative on that end of the spectrum, right? So other things that could happen, right? We could very much use these inefficiencies in this previous daily low to just propel price even lower. We have the Q4 low below us, right? This is kind of it's a heavy asset. We don't want to be, too quick to jump on longs. We want to kind of ride the market out, let it show us where it wants to go. Right now, we have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the past like 6 or 7 days have been heavy bleed, right? We've kind of broken out of this consolidation. Yesterday was a great sell off from this daily SIBI. And we still have so many lows to go. This Q4 low, these are the pre-election lows. We do have SMT with ES at those lows as it stands. I'm not anticipating them to stay. I'm definitely not anticipating this January low on ES to stay open. It's knocking on the door. But that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Do you take session profile into account? Not so much, no. I like to kind of see what the sessions have done based on what I'm anticipating for the day. So like seeing this Asia high like this, London failing to take Asia's high. I don't believe. I'm just going to use my other monitor for SMT. I don't know that we had any asset take Asia high during London. No, we did not. So we don't even really have a accumulation manipulation higher to suggest we're going lower. So if anything, this can be a consolidation, manipulation, and then we may want to expand higher from there. But again, I don't have anything in front of me right now that is screaming at me. So I'm just going to kind of watch. What I can potentially see if we are going to get long is ES take that ADM low, or sorry, not ES, YM take that ADM low, because it failed to take ES, or YM failed to take the previous daily low down here, right? Failed to take the previous daily low. We created SMT there. Now, if it wants to take this 8 a.m. low, seeing as it failed to take the high time frame liquidity down here, it may want to take this short-term liquidity, create SMT, and then we have a potential idea to frame longs. So we'll see what happens. What you have marked as Asia high was past midnight. I really don't care if it's a couple minutes past. It's the 15-minute chart. I don't really chart liquidity any lower than that. If it's like 12:05, okay, that's fine. I don't really care. This is a consolidation. There's liquidity resting above here. To me, I'll just mark that as Asia high. Yeah, but it wasn't taken, right? It was 12:05, but it wasn't taken during any other session. 12:05 is still deemed Asia session to me. The kill zone itself and majority of the liquidity is resting between 8 and midnight, but like 12:05, it's not exactly a sweep that I'm going to concern myself with whatsoever. Same thing if London, like 5:05 or 5:15, right? It's not really, it's kind of in between sessions. So how long have you been streaming on YouTube? The past month. When I'm not streaming in the lab, I'll stream on here. What about 57.97? Yeah, I got that marked up. That's the pre-election lows. I got those marked up here on the. Those look clean. Just have to wait and see. Okay. YM failed to take that low. Rejected it rather swiftly. Did trade below 9 a.m. low or 9 a.m. open. I got nothing to do here right now, folks. I need to see a whole fresh setup for him, and that's going to be, do we see some SMT down in here? Maybe NQ wants to kind of get below this short-term low, tag into this 5-minute breakaway gap. Old breakaway gap. Just a fair value gap though. And can we see some SMT form here? Can we see some standard deviations align with our targets up here? We have lots of resting liquidity above us. Do you suggest anything outside 2022 core content market maker primer course from ICT? Honestly, all of his stuff's good. I really enjoyed the market maker primer course, market maker forex course. I really enjoyed his core content. That's like the one-stop shop for all you need to know about ICT, in my opinion. Okay, there's that low on YM. Bounced off that 9 a.m. open. Tagging into this 5-minute breaker. Anticipating we can get lower here. Down into here would be sweet. I could potentially anticipate that this SMT will hold, and then we should go higher from there. Before we look for buys, so we want to see 2248.75. No, we just took previous daily low and November lows. That's plenty, in my opinion. We could get there. We could get there eventually, but I mean, right now we're seeing signs that what it's taken has been enough. Mark up my OTE of this range. That would be sick. Sweep this low, create SMT, hold SMT. Oh, it's going to cuck me and not get into that Bissy. This is rather risky, though. No, I don't set weekly profits or profit goals or target goals or like points or anything. I just trade. We swept that low, that SMT form before 9:30, so it's valid for me. Tagging into an old breaker, I wanted to see this inefficiency get tagged, but we did technically sweep this short-term low, I believe. Yeah, and tag OTE. This could sail from here, in my opinion. If it goes without us, it didn't give me what I wanted to see. I wanted to see this inefficiency. So we will watch it go for now. Gives me more time to acclimate myself to the chart anyway. I don't exactly love getting in right around 9:30 on most days. YM is absolutely selling through that previous daily low, deleting that SMT. ES is knocking on the door of that 815 low. So let's just watch. There's that Bissy, there's that low. I'd be willing to stab that. I could get stopped real quick here. That would be information for me, but this is an entry model that I will gladly utilize. Let's see how it pans out. If it stops me out, that's okay. Why am I long biased? Don't have any SMTs at these highs. We have all these clear highs here. I could see a Judas coming before we get lower. If it wants to stop me out here, then that just shows how heavy it is. And then I just frame continuations later, which it's going to show me really quick. Yep. Okay. So now all assets have taken that low, right? There's no short setup here for me. If it wants to sweep that low and then continue to do its fuckery, it's more than welcome to. What's the 1 minute showing? Nada. So we got ES now taking that January low. YM is falling out of bed. I don't have a setup to get short, so we might be watching for a bit. Oh yeah, plenty of reason for me to long. A lot of people just are scared to enter when it's coming down like that, and that's fine. That's not exactly the most, beginner friendly entry type model. It's not one that I'm exactly willing to touch a bunch on, but yeah. See, this is just the 930. Okay, it goes and takes that low anyway. 5797.25 on ES is what we're watching. That's that pre-election low from November. It's just going to leave without us. It's not going to give us any sort of opportunity. Waiting for 15-minute breaker. I mean, we had one here, right? We just have to let this 930 settle now. Gotta let the 930 settle. I still favor longs. It's a shame that it had to take me out at that low. I actually really liked this setup a lot. But I can't really be wired to worry about or like a setup if it just, or not like a setup just because it gave me a loss, right? Like this is a setup that like I enjoy taking quite often. It's just the wicks do the damage. Oh wow. NQ dirty with it. Real dirty with it. No, I meant the breaker about the form now. If it forms. What breaker? This new one? Yep. Yeah, we had old ones here too, pre-market. But now we got, right, SMT at the highs here. ES still heavy. YM still heavy. NQ ran up and grabbed these highs. This is a pretty big leg. But yeah. ES could also just be playing catch up. I can already kind of see NQ being the leader, maybe wants to take these highs or take some sort of buy side short term. ES fail to, and then we can get a setup to target lows again. It seems ES is following. YM so much for the first half hour. YM kind of does its own thing. Entered off 15 seconds. That's a banger long, dude. I just didn't have anything. The only way that I could have stayed in or could have framed my longs is if NQ kept this low. Oh no, good shit, Lee. Yeah, toughy for sure. You gotta laugh sometimes. You gotta laugh sometimes at these markets. What was it? A tick? 262. 2 points. Got out to sell exactly at the right time. Later to the tick. Nice. Hang on. Sorry. Is a 3-minute breaker a good entry? There's nothing that I would use here, guys. I don't have any S&T that I would really at all frame. This breaker formed with SMT here. This could very much just continue to go lower. This could be like a seek and destroy kind of back and forth. It can bounce off of here to target these highs, which is kind of where I'm thinking we go, but I don't have a setup on it. Got an entry? No, I didn't. Well, I did get an entry. I got stopped out. I was entering basically back in this. Hello? Why is my shit bugging? I was entering using this 5-minute BISI. I wanted to see this get respected. I want to see this low get respected because we formed SMT at this low with ES at 9:30 initially, and we also had YM SMT prior to 9:30. So I wanted to see us keep this low and then go higher from there, holding up that SMT. I entered inside of this 5-minute BISI. It stopped me out, and now it has gone the other way. So yeah, not much I can do. Yeah, I'm not in control of the outcome, so all I can do is execute my model, right? I was risked appropriately. I think I lost like fucking 400 on that. Yeah. That's nothing. That's half of what I got yesterday. Like yeah, an SMT at the highs. Got to push the button, ladies and gents, and you're not responsible for the outcome. That's up to the edge. See you later, Lee. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Enjoy your day. And thank you for the kind words. Yeah, so we got right that breaker formed SMT at the highs. There was no SMT for me that I'm willing to take based off of these lows. Probably could have found something. I'm not even gonna bother looking because there's if I have to look that hard for SMTs, like then I'm forcing a trade. So where's that 9:30 open? Right there. Yeah, let's flip the open. This could probably just continue lower again. I don't have a breaker that I could take, and this is, if it gets below this breaker here, like that's way too big of a stop for me. Way, 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 way too big. Do you recommend using YM as well as ES? I use YM for SMT. I do. Um, when it's not correlated though, like if you can look at YM comparatively to NQ and ES, and if it's completely doing something different, just ignore it. But when it's in alignment, yeah, it gives good setups. I'll stay on paper this morning. Took a short yesterday based on the S&T at the highs and an inverse for value gap for relative equal lows and about 180 points. Total looks too unclear to me. Yeah, it does look fairly unclear today. It's sad, was expecting a bullish breaker and now price is about to form a bearish breaker. Well, if you heard what I said, this bullish breaker was also forming SMT. That is a low probability breaker block. So you immediately have conflicting information, right, against your breaker. And you don't have any SMTs worthy of taking longs at the lows anyhow. So it's an easy one to sit on your hands with. The fact that this low got taken and we went higher, deleting that SMT that I wanted to see between this low and this low, that automatically gives me low confidence in us moving higher into the draws that I had outlined previous. Because this is invalidation. $9.44, that's a big candle. What do we got? Some tariff talk going on Financial Juice right now? Let me see. By the hair of its chinny chin chin, misses that low. The only thing I can see is if we frame some sort of consecutive candle S&T or something for higher, but right now it's kind of unclear. You're bullish for this week? May I ask why? Look at this chart. This is not bullish. So be careful with your bullish bias. All the buys are short-lived. SMT at the lows right now. Where? What lows? The 5-minute. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep, not enough for me. Not enough for me. And besides, like, there's not a whole heck of a lot going on here, truthfully. Da, 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 da. Run the highs again. This is peak blow your account type of activity going on right here. I hope you guys are staying diligent, or vigilant, rather. Oh man, I am tired. That coffee didn't do shit for me. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Got about 100 of you guys in here. I appreciate you all. Don't be shy if you have questions. I got the chat right up here next to me. I try to answer as many as I can without missing any. Feedback always appreciated as well. NQ, yeah. Yeah, look at that 50-minute candle. Just creates the range. It's brutal. There is a world where this goes higher without me, and I honestly am okay with it. I don't care what it does if my model's not present. Equal low on 15-minute now. Equal low. It swept this low. Swept it by 2 points. Definitely be looked at as a target for later on if we do get a setup towards it. I would definitely frame this for a short later on, but right now I'm not seeing sufficient evidence. I don't know if that counts as a sweep. Why wouldn't it count as a sweep? This candle went lower than this candle. There's orders right below here, at this low, in fact. Therefore, as soon as we take it, that is a purge. Rather a sweep. A purge is more deep, right? A purge could be like seen as this is a purge of previous daily low because we actually like drove candles into it. A sweep like this, a sweep is just kind of shallowly taking it. Perfect example. Go back to August. Look at that. One could argue that that's relative equal lows too, but look at the result. Right? Okay, ES took that pre-election low. NQ is struggling to get below that 930 low. We have SMT at the highs. There's no setup here for me. Nah, nothing. We have SMT at the lows. There's nothing here for me either. This is just one big ugly range. I'm gonna get rid of that. At what point would the SMT at the highs be invalidated? I'd say once all assets take that high. Right now, like, this is the SMT that formed at that high, right? With ES, that's like the consecutive candle SMT high. All right, high that we formed SMT at. Swing high, swing low, higher swing high. If we get below here, we could see selling, and this will be your breaker, right? Why am I going to fade it though? Because it's 172 points. I'm not about to put on a trade with 172 point. Stop. I'm just not. So I wouldn't even say that the breaker, that this SMT is validated yet because we haven't framed any sort of change in the state of delivery yet from it. So right now, all we have is SMT on the lows, SMT on the highs, no confirmation of either direction, right? Because for SMT to be validated at the highs, you need a breaker. For SMT to be invalidated at lows, you need shock horror, a breaker. We don't have that on either side, so it's really just kind of a sit and wait. And 4. You exclusive to index only? Yeah, I don't really trade anything else at the moment. Yes is heavy, heavy. Where's ES going? What is the dealing range I'm working with? I'm not working with one right now. I don't have a setup. I'm even eyeing, so I don't really have a dealing range. I've just marked up liquidity on the daily. This is that Q4 low. These are the November lows. ES just took these lows too. So like you could argue that I'm kind of working within. This is your larger range. This is the EQ. But short term, the dealing range that we were working within was this expansion leg lower. Oopsie, wrong thing. We came up into premium here, created SMT. Now we're trading lower. There's just no setup. The price action that usually follows sell side high time frame draw on liquidity isn't printing. What do you mean by that? It doesn't have to do anything. It can get to the draw as quickly or as slowly as it wants, right? It's information of what it's doing, right? That is an ugly, ugly breaker. Probably wait till 10. Wait till 10. This just looks ugly. Like consecutive candle SMT. November low still intact on NQH. Strange. Very strange because I'm using NQ1 and I'm adjusting for contract changes. That is interesting. Good call out. And like that's a significant difference. Like nearly 50 points. Let me look at that again. Set an alert on that bad boy. Got 10 a.m. open in 2 minutes here. We don't have any news or anything on at 10 a.m., but what can I tell you about mini and micro contracts? I'm thinking about switching to futures and I have no idea. Well, right, if you're trading index futures, for example, let's say that you're trading ES, NQ, YM. These are the mini contracts, right? The mini contract is like the main contract, and it's basically the difference in dollars per point. So the point value. The mini is going to be larger than the micro by 10 times, okay? So one contract on the ES is going to be $50 per point. On NQ, one mini contract will yield $20 per point. On YM, one contract will be $5 per point. On the other side, you have micro E-mini S&P, micro NASDAQ, micro YM. And it is essentially going to be 10 times less. $5 per point for micro ES, $2 per point for micro NQ, 50 cents per point for micro YM. Micros just allow you to, okay, there's the November lows on NQH. Right before 10 a.m. too. 10 a.m. could just drop. That is a shame that it doesn't give any sort of entry, but that's all right. Should we do charting on NQ1 and execute on micro? Yes, you should always be charting on the actual mini contract. You can use current contract. I utilize NQ1 because of some indicators that I use from time to time require a longer look back. NQ1 does that for me, and you can just adjust it to current contract. So you should always chart based on what the actual mini contract is doing, not the micro. Don't chart the micro. Pre-NFP week seems to just be ranging. Dale, look at the higher time frame, brother. This is not a ranging chart. Yesterday we amassed 800 points. We consolidated after that 800 point rally or 800 point sell off. That's normal. Now we're expanding again. This is not a consolidated market. $9.53 breaker. Not interested. This is your breaker. $9.32. It's massive though. Let's see what ES has done here. We've pretty much... So ES has taken that Q4 low. NQ has failed to right now. I'd want to see local, more fresh SMT occur for any sort of bounces or retracements to get short later. But nothing to do here, folks. Nothing to do. This is the boring part of trading. One loss on the day. I'd push that button again in a heartbeat if it gave a setup like that. That's what I am doing. YM hasn't even taken January's low yet. This asset is cheeks. But it took the November lows in January. So we got that SMT. So it doesn't technically have to take it if we are to turn around bullish on a short-term basis. So we have a couple SMTs to look at here. Where's my ES? There it is. No local SMT or anything like that. By local, I mean just like recent within the past hour. Past hour or so of PA. Even like the past couple hours, there's nothing. We've all taken previous daily low. We've all taken this 825 or 815 low. Yeah. What a time to be alive. Let me watch this here for a moment. The 5-minute SIBI. The ES at the Q4 low. 10 a.m. open. This looks like it could be something, honestly. Standard deviations. 2.5 lines up with. That's not a high that I really. -4 lines up with London. 2.5 lines up with these short-term highs here. Don't have any recent SMT. The only SMT that we're working with right now is the one at the Q4 low and with the January low with YM. So I'm not exactly keen on taking this. If we had some shorter term, more local recent SMT, this would be 100% a slap if it formed. If we traded above this high here, I would 100% look to take that. But this is such a heavy market. This was kind of the Judas higher. We framed SMT and it's bouncing back up into that breaker. So I'd want to wait for something fresh to come along. No, I haven't reviewed my loss. I can do it quick. Alt enter. What the heck? Why isn't it? Oh, that was late. So entry was down here. After we tagged into this 5-minute BISI, we were forming SMT at this low prior with ES. YM prior, YM at 9:15 during the 9:15 candle on the 15-minute. He said 9:25 candle on the 5-minute. Took this low. ES took this low during 9:30 while NQ was tagging into this 5-minute BISI and an old breaker on the 1-minute. Sweeping this low in discount, I was anticipating us to get higher to then go lower. It ran my stop there, and then we kind of just saw some fuckery. So there's nothing else I could have done there. There's nothing wrong with taking that setup. That was pretty much it though. Just anticipating NQ to hold these lows. Let YM and ES take them while we reprice into lower time frame breakers, discount, sweeping these lows, then go higher. Resulted in a stop out, which is no harm, no foul. Very, very simple breakdown. My computer is being a bugger. My Alt Enter isn't working to minimize my dual screen. Only way you would have been looking short if it was swept London or Asia high. No. We had this SMT above the 9 EM high here. Right, 9:30, we swept that high. If we had gotten a clean entry model from here, like if we had had a breaker that was not 170 some odd points, I would have been short. Didn't see that though, so no entry model. This was, as soon as we formed this, like this gave me confidence that we were likely to go lower. I just can't get involved and be a part of it, that's all. Is that 10 a.m. open? I really don't like the idea of this. Uh, It would be something though if it ran that high. If it used this, would be something. It's not even giving any sort of proof that it wants to get above this anyway. So, like, the thing with these, right, is why I don't want to see. Nobody asked, but I'm just gonna explain anyway. Um, the only reason why I want to see like shorter term SMT form is because I need information that shows that we are ready to turn around right now, right? SMTs on high time frames tend to take a long time to pan out, right? It's a high time frame level, therefore it may take a longer period of time in order to set up. So by me saying that, entering on the 1 minute with a high time frame like monthly time frame SMT, it's not going to be a fun setup. You want short-term SMT so that you can get a short-term result. Okay, as an intraday trader, we should definitely keep in mind that we have SMT at this November or Q4 low, pardon me. But until I see some sort of short-term SMT to provide me information that the market is ready to move in the short term, I can't touch it. Hope that makes sense. Also, I need a lot of proof to want to long this market comfortably. If anything, I can see myself waiting for a retracement to get short. So, a lot of hand sitting going on. It's going for that Q4 low. 250 points off of that high. Rather, 300 points almost off of that high. No entry. See how the 10 a.m. open is acting as resistance, right? It's a dead giveaway. As soon as these print, like that is a sign that the market wants nothing to do with higher prices at all. Trading funded. I don't have a live account yet. I want to start a personal account once I get some debts paid off, etc. paying off my schooling, all that fun stuff, saving up for things, grown up stuff. I'll start putting money into a personal. Hopefully this year. Hopefully in the first half of this year, I can build a personal. Q4 low. I don't like that, like 60 some odd. Now it's like an 80-point difference between NQH and the current, or the NQ1 continuous. Yeah, I see that. I just marked it up here. If we take Q4 low and then we form short-term SMT, yeah. Yeah, I could see that being a scenario for a long, but like it's not. Just because you can't get in short doesn't mean you should look long. I'll just say that, okay? You should always. Why has all my shit disappeared? Hello? All of my markups just disappeared? Let me just control Z the shit out of this. That sucks. Why did I just lose all of my markups for no reason? Bloody hell. That sucks. Okay. Start over. Q4 low. These are the. That's already taken, so I'm not exactly concerned about that. I'll just kind of dot that out. You know, just leave it. So right there, I'm not going to leave those. This doesn't matter what I mark up right now, honestly. This is just dumping to heck. I'm curious to see where this standard deviation takes us to. Let's do this actually so I can actually see where it is. Horizontal line, 835. Four lines up with this. Man, if we got there today, that'd be fucking crazy. Got nothing to do. Hit the 3-month low. On the NQH contract, I presume. Actually gonna just use this one. Not yet. That's it there. Yeah, why are my things getting deleted? Because I had this marked up on the old, I guess on a different layout. Yeah, on a different layout, so never mind. Current contract has yet to hit that 3-month low. And Q1 has hit it. No short-term SMTs at all. Big old waiting game, folks. Man, I really don't see myself sitting here for much longer, considering this is just not doing anything that I can deduce worth sitting and watching. Like, I don't want to sit here and look at a chart if I know that my edge isn't present at all, right? It's just kind of wasted time to me, to be honest. I can't even read anything for you guys either because there's nothing here to read, right? we read all this. We talked about this here. We said that if we break below this low, we're likely to target lower prices. If we break above, we're likely to have this, obviously, this low invalidated, and we're likely to go higher. We've broken below that low, and as a result, we use the inefficiency to tag us into the Q4 low, amassing like 150 some points. If you got in earlier, right? Not to say that you should have gotten in. I don't see a reason to get in this at all. We had a clear draw. I'm not seeing any sort of reason to long it here either, despite this wick forming. We have no local SMT. We don't have any sort of breaker blocks suggesting, that this level is going to hold. The only breaker we have is this 1 minute guy here, and there's a lower, this would be like a fractal, like fucking seconds time frame. Technically it's a 1 minute breaker, but there's nothing here. So any of these, I'm immediately thinking that they're going to be retracements. So maybe later we get a setup for a retracement, or a retracement for a short later. Or it can very much retrace, form a swing point, and then get us long. But right now, there's a lot of sitting and waiting to do. Viewers are dropping off. There's nothing here to talk about, guys, quite frankly. There was no short for me to get into. We took a long, lost, which was probably the only good setup that it printed today, in my opinion, based on my understanding and my process. So I don't have anything else for you guys, unless you have questions. Yeah, just one of those days. Absolutely, Ian. It's day trading. It's not everyday trading. Yeah, except for that entry there was nothing. Which entry? Like the short? The one I took? How is it nothing? You think it's a bad trade just because it lost? If this trade won, you would have been saying, how the fuck did you do that? Blah, blah, blah. I'd take that trade every single time it printed. Every single time. No hesitation. See you, Dale. Oh, fuck. Sorry, hey them. I thought you were saying that, like, the entry was nothing. My bad, brother. I can't read context very well sometimes. Yeah. My bad, brother. I just got all defensive for no reason. Yeah. We're retracing right now. I don't see this as a reversal of any proportion whatsoever. I took a short at 955 on the tap into the BPR. Okay. So you're anticipating that this breaker is going to form here. Okay. Sure. If that's part of your model, for sure. I don't see it. It's not high probability for me. It's, well, not to say it's not a high probability. I can't say that it isn't because I don't have stats on it. It's not something that I am comfortable taking, that's all. But hey, that would have been a nice short for you. Absolutely. All right, ladies, gents, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna hop off here. There's nothing here for me, so as you've already heard me explain, so I'm gonna go carry on with my day. I'm gonna journal this trade. Barbaros took one trade. It was a loser, a very quick loser, and that was it. Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. My plan for this week, I'm streaming tomorrow and I believe Thursday, morning sessions. I plan to do some YouTube videos. I'd like to probably put out 4 this month. I have ideas for some, but what I want you guys to do is I want you to tag me on Twitter or message me or whatever. Preferably tag me on Twitter, and I might even put out a tweet that you guys can respond to, giving me some ideas. What do you guys want to see from me? How can I help you guys advance? And how can I help you become better traders? I don't have just a goal of like strictly doing charting, technical analysis style videos. I'd like to get a good camera and do some just like raw video talking where I'm just kind of explaining, talking a little bit about my story, how I kind of have come to be the person I am today, etc. Maybe some life lessons, etc. Like stuff like that. Just like me talking, yapping to the camera. So if you guys have any suggestions, I will probably put out a tweet that you guys can let me know what you want to see, and we'll start getting some YouTube content put out other than just these lives. But good stream today, honestly. Didn't get the PA that we wanted to see, in that it's providing an environment where we can constantly engage in. This is telling me that there's just really nothing to engage in other than the one trade that we took, which was a loser. So what would I need to see to confirm a reversal rather than a retracement? An actual high time frame swing point worth looking at. So we just took a monthly level. I'd like to see, there's 2 things that could happen. It could form this breaker here, which I doubt. It's probably gonna, I'd like to see it form a more recent one, create some recent SMT, and then go from there. Right now, this is just an expansion leg and we're retracing. The only breakers we have are low time frame ones. If it wants to get above these highs, that's something that I would have to wait for. I'm not anticipating us for this entire swing leg from this high to this low, that entire range, to be the breaker leg. I'd like to see us create something new. And until we get up close above this high, if we ever do today, that would be the breaker that I would then anticipate retracements into and then catch a setup from there. So you need this specific signature. Oh, for fuck's sakes. Swing low, swing high, lower, swing low. That's what you need. As a semi-beginner, would you recommend me going all in on learning a model and then learn other lessons, or vice versa? Just get addicted to the process of studying and becoming better. If you come across some of ICT's content or my content or whoever's, and you're like, nah, this isn't for me, skip it and go on to something else. Keep yourself obsessed and engaged as long as possible. If something doesn't, resonate with you right away, like in that, like you understand it, but it just doesn't look like something that you want to implement, go for it. Like for me, I didn't, Reaper for value gaps never jumped out at the screen for me. Therefore, I don't really care to learn about them. Rejection blocks never really, vibed with me. I understand them. I understand the point of them, but like I have other ways that I have other PD arrays I can use, right? So, or using, I used to use like IPTA data ranges, like 20, 40, 60 days, but like now I don't really use them anymore because I don't really need to, right? So just, you should study a model and you should go all in on building a model, but you should at first, if you don't have, all of the foundational knowledge, like how to read order flow, how to depict what price, what delivery you're getting, like whether you're trending, whether you're consolidating, right? How to trade those environments, understanding of PD arrays, understanding of standard deviation, understanding of high impact news events, what they do, what they're used for, how they trade, liquidity, all the basics, right? How to build yourself a narrative, right? Like Hatham just said, how to build yourself a narrative. If you don't have that, learn that. And you can find all of that within ICT's lectures. I don't have any sort of like beginner's guide to trading. I should create one though, because I think it'd be good. Thank you, Ian. Yes, T-Trades has an absolute like amalgamation and like a whole fucking encyclopedia, as Ian said, of ICT concepts that are very simple. So just yeah, there's not much direction that I can give you right now. If you're semi new, Nick, just be a sponge, man. You're not supposed to have every step laid out for you. That's kind of the fun part. I can't give you every step to lay out either. But just get studying, put in the work, man. I believe in you. What mouse do I have? I have a Logitech MX Master 3S. Yeah, you're welcome, Nick. Okay, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. I will see you guys tomorrow, okay? And yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Be safe. Don't be a dickhead on the charts either, okay? Or I'll find out about it. Okay. I'll talk to you guys later.